It'd be really nice if you would stop hiding. I've heard you already. Yes.
I'm looking for someone, man.
Right.
Maybe you could help me find them.
I could possibly help you find this individual. I just have a question for you.
Yeah.
Are you out of Sisika? A fresh out of it?
I don't want to go back, man. I don't want to go back to six, man. Don't make me go back. Are you going to make me go back there?
No. Listen, I am far from a deputy, I assure you.
I'm looking for a man, and I need my revenge, and I will find him.
All right, well, what does this man look like?
Well, it looks like any other man. It bleeds like any other. His name's Alistair Reed. And he played me for a fool. Yeah. He called me a chicken, and I threw a knife right in his throat. And then he came after me with a knife, and look at my neck. It looks like a vagina. And I want my revenge, and I'm going to find him, and I'm going to challenge him to a duel.
All right, well, I mean, you should probably go to a doctor and maybe have that stitched out.
No. I'm gonna let it heal in the way it needs to. But this man hides behind his trinket shop. I've been trying to find employees that leave the trinket shop in the alleyway of St. Denis. And I'm gonna find this man one day. Might come up and meow.
Let's say this. How about we actually talk beyond this gate inside of the alleyway? He's gone. You should be fine, by the way. If you can hear my voice, you can talk to me. Yes, if you can hear my voice, come to me. Just hear my voice. I haven't gotten your name, by the way. I do not like that you're playing games with me. Listen, I understand. Just show yourself for 1 second, so I know that you're not trying to do anything funny. Hello. Excuse me for a second.
Howdy.
By any chance, did you see a man with stripes? He seemed to have
I did.
Ragged clothing, things like that.
I was looking for him. He was down in this alleyway earlier.
Yeah.
What you looking for him for?
I'm not too sure.
Yours?
No. He seems like he was trying to look for a person. I would assume that would be you.
No. Doesn't seem like it. But I heard I know that he's been causing some trouble.
Yeah.
So I'm just keeping on guard is all.
Yes, no, I could understand. I randomly came across this individual over by the bank. They were in the alleyway, so took a moment of time to try to strike up a conversation, and it seems like he was looking for someone. I don't know who this person was, but I wouldn't be surprised if you would see maybe blood, because he did have an issue with his neck, a sort of open wound.
Right. Do you know anything about this fella?
Unfortunately, I do not, but this person he might be trying to look for due to a situation that happened before. Very odd. He came out of Sisika, might have been recently.
So he came out of Siska and he's looking for somebody. He said he was trying to get some payback on some fella that robbed him.
Correct.
Do you know who this fella is?
Not that I know of. I don't think he's giving me a name, at least that I could remember.
I mean the fella that supposedly robbed him. What he looks like.
Well, not that I know of.
Well, I appreciate the help anyway.
Yes, of course. What about you?
Me, I'm just looking out for a friend. Tried to knife some fella down at the Bastille earlier.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. Do you mind if I ask what for?
I have no idea. They were smoking a cigarette and he walked up behind them, pulled a knife.
Alright, well, I would say you seem like a man who knows quite a few things in terms of, well, skill sets. Am I correct or am I judging? I do apologize if I am judging.
I might do. Who's asking?
Well, in the sense I do dabble in work, and a client of mine is looking for individuals who might be rather suited for these skill sets. Would be a bit more fun and possibly compensation.
Who's this client of yours?
Unfortunately for this client, he doesn't like to be known too much. Trust me, I wish I could know him as well too, but he didn't give me much of a name, just a telegram. So I said, all right, fine. That seems to be good. Well, at the moment, we're trying to look for people who are willing to do so. Obviously, of course, this is something I know can be a little bit more tricky, just because it seems odd for someone to ask about these things, and then a mysterious man like myself just comes out of nowhere and happens to talk about asking about your skill set.
Come
on. Just looking? Yeah, he's just looking.
Yes, Mr. Bones. Nice to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you, Mr. Bones. You can call me Ezekiel.
Nice to meet you.
It's over a bottle of whiskey. Shouldn't have 6 of your friends. I don't know.
Yeah.
Nobody's scared of
There he is.
No one's scared of knives anyway.
I'll be completely honest with you. I thought that man was going to try to rob me or something. You know, I heard a horse come by and then he just disappears like a phantom. And I hear him.
Surprised if he tried. It's what he tried to do in the Bastille. Head down to the docks, to the right.
Interesting.
Just through here.
Airbone.
As you can see, where the name comes from.
Ah, I can definitely see that. Seems like everything has been kind of cleaned up quite well. You have some sort of people that clean up little scuffles like this. This is quite interesting.
Yeah. I've got a couple of people working for me. Good folk, good with their hands. The floor gets pretty bloody.
Interesting. Make sure to keep it in mind. Yes. All right. Well, like I mentioned, this client of mine is trying to start some new endeavors. Now, when it comes to these people, this is, rather say, a job offer that is no questions asked sort of thing. You just do it, and you can get paid.
How much we talking compensation-wise?
Well, of course, that is something that I hope as well too we can inform you on. But I can go and send a telegram about that. Either way, the idea would be the interest. If you have a genuine interest, you'd like to know a bit more about these skills, and you would have a chance to meet him, possibly here in the city. Who knows? I would have to say. But from there, then a little bit more information can be done. But he's obviously quite hesitant, of course, since this is messy work. Consequences, obviously, are something to consider.
I'm open to consider it. Maybe I'd be willing to have a little meeting.
Right, of course. All right, let me see if I can get my notebook out and write your telegram and make sure to write some footnotes of skill sets that you're good at. Tell me your skill set. Give me a summary. You could say you're a good fisherman in terms of fishing and good with hooks. Maybe you're good with your hands, etc., etc.
I've hunted down some people before. I've pretty good with my hands, as you say. For the most part, cannibals.
Interesting. You've dealt with cannibals before?
A couple of times.
Interesting. What does a man like yourself tend to run into situations with cannibals? You just come across them, or
Matter of circumstance, I suppose.
Yes, of course. I think that's the best part about it. In terms of this work and our endeavors, at least for the meantime, my client has been, well, obviously, for one, has been very busy doing things, so... And I would have to say, if I heard any sort of gunshots or anything, trust me, I didn't hear anything. I thought that might have just been the wind. Of course. And again, I just like to make the crossing a bit more interesting. The idea is sometimes it can get a bit more boring, so maybe someone like me could provide something, eventually.
Spice things up.
Exactly.
I like that.
Right.
I'll see you around, Mr. Bones.
You as well, Ezekiel.
Look after yourself.
Take it easy. Eventually, they all have to sign up for it, one by one. I do wonder sometimes, do they understand? Do they understand the consequences of their action? If you're hiding around here, listen. If you're hiding around here, can you please not do that? I'm very paranoid as an old man.